The fraction we're going to work on right now is 1/3 plus 1/2. So when we talk about 1/3 plus 1/2, we're saying the whole is 3 right here, but part of it is shaded, and the part is 1 that is shaded. Same thing with this one. We're going to say 2 is the whole, but of the 2 wholes, 1 is shaded. So let's see the representation for that. The representation looks something like this. We have is 3, 1, 2, 3, and of the 3, only 1 is shaded. So which is this 1 that's shaded. Same thing with the half. We're going to have is 2 is the whole, so that's 1, 2 makes a whole, but of the 2, only 1 is shaded, which is this right here. Okay? We have a problem though, because when we try to add 1/3 plus 1/2, it's not the same amount or the same pieces. So we have to find what we call the common denominator to make them the same amounts on both purple and the pink so we can put them together. So what we're going to do is divide the vertical boxes right here with horizontal line right here. So this is layered on it. I'm going to put it underneath it so you can see what happens, but it's technically the same number of boxes right here. So it looks something like this. I took this box right here, which was the 3 vertical pieces right here, 1, 2, 3, and I cut it up or divided it into horizontally, this piece right here on top of this right here. So we have then is the number of pieces is 6, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's do the same thing for the half. We're going to divide it up this time vertically, this direction. So we're going to divide it up vertically. And this is what it looks like for the representation. So we took the same box right here, nothing has changed right here, but we divided up vertically 2 more or 3 more boxes right here. So that's going to give us then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6, so is this right here. Now they have the common denominator, and so now we can talk about is the number of pieces. So I used this reference as well before. When I have something like this, let's say a square pizza, if there's only 2 of you, you can divide the pizza up into 2 parts, and one person eats it and the other person's like not hungry, and they can hold off to it. That's fine. But let's say you had more people visit and you had 6 people visit. Well, if you have 6 people visit, you're not going to go out, well, you could go out and buy a new pizza, but let's say you just had this piece and you could divide it up into 6 parts instead, right? It's the same size right here. It's the same size as this right here, but you just divide it into 6 parts so that more people can eat it. So it's the same idea. We're taking a fraction. We're not changing the amount of fractions. We're just taking the same fraction, but dividing it up into more parts, and the parts get smaller and smaller, obviously, if there's more people, right? So if you have a pizza and there's more people who want a piece of that pizza, you're going to have to, cut up into small parts, whereas if there was only 2 of you, then you get bigger pieces for that, okay? So it's the same idea. So now let's go ahead and continue. So now if I had this, let me go back and lay it out. I have now is 2, 6, because I have 2 that are shaded out of the whole of 6 pieces right here. That's what this represents, 2 out of 6. And then I have the other one, which is then 3, right, out of 6, because there's 3 that are colored out of the whole, which is the 6 right there. Now, if we put it together, we're going to have is that still the 2 from the red or the pink, and then 3 more from the purple. And so together, we're going to have 5, 6 that are shaded. So as long as the denominator down here and down here are the same, now we can add the numerator, because then I can actually lay out these little pieces on top of this, and we're talking about the same amount as a whole. So that's what you want for the common denominator, is to figure out is what is that same amount for both of the boxes that will make the same whole. Okay, so let's go ahead and try another problem. So I have is 3/4 plus 1/5. So on the first box, I'm going to have is a whole is 4, so I have 4 boxes, but of the 4 boxes, 3 are shaded because the numerator up here says they're 3, so I have 3 boxes that are shaded out of the 4, and the same thing for the next one. I'm going to have is a whole is 5, but of the 5 boxes, only 1 is shaded, so it looks something like this. Okay, so again, we still have a problem because 4 and the 5 are not the same amount. I mean, just even looking at the pieces, the 4 looks bigger pieces than the 5 does, right? So we want to make sure they're the same amount. So now we're going to take this box right here and we're going to cut it up horizontally, the same number of boxes, horizontally this. So I'm just going to layer this now. So it looks something like this. Nothing has changed. I just put in lines to divide it just like this. So I have in is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I should have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 now. So same thing. Now on this box right here, we're going to have to go vertical, right? So if we do vertical, 3 lines, then we're going to have is 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the same amount as this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So together, this is 4 times 5, so there should be 20 boxes total. So if you want to count it up, go ahead and count it up, but there should be 20 boxes. Okay, so as now both of the pinks and also the blue have 20 boxes, now they're equal denominators, and we can now play with the fractions. So the new fraction that we have of the pink is how many shaded? Well, we have is 15 out of the whole of 20 that is shaded. What about the blue? We have then is 4 out of the 20 that is shaded. So then together, the pink is 15. We add 4 more. We should have then is 19 out of the 20 that's shaded. Okay? Now let's try something else. Let's try the subtracting or the minus or the take away, right? Same concept, but this time we're going to take away as the students will say, right? So if we have 1/3 minus the 2/7, then we're going to have a box that are divided into 3 parts. And of the 3 parts, only 1 is shaded. Then the second box should have is 7 pieces, right? And of the 7, only 2 is shaded. So now together, we're going to make it where the boxes are the same amount. So the first box, I've divided it vertically. So now I have to divide it horizontally on the next part. So it looks something like this. And that's going to give us the new fraction of 7 over 21. Because if I go ahead and count this up, I have is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? Out of 3 times 7 should give us the 21 right there. Okay, now let's try the second box. So the second box now, I'm going to go ahead and divide it up vertically. And so now the new shaded part changes to 6 out of 21. So now together the denominators are the same, so we can go ahead and put those together. So again, this is going to give us then the 7 boxes that we see originally, but we take away 6. So if I take away 6, then I have is only 1 out of 21. Okay, now let's try number 4. So 4 is 2/3 minus the 1/4. So let me go ahead and give you some time on this to work on it. And let's see if you can come up with the total number of boxes that both of them should have in common, and then from there, the new shaded. So go ahead and pause the video and work on it, and then come back once you get your answers. Okay, so let's check your work. So on the first box, or actually the total number of boxes that we should have, should be then divided into 3, right? And only 2 of the 3 is colored. And then on the second one, we should divide it into 4 parts. And of the 4, 1 of them is colored. So together, they should have is 12 as a total. So now that changes it to 8 out of 12. And the second one should be 3 out of 12. So then together, if we subtract or take away 3 out of the 8, I should have then is 5 out of 12. Okay, let's try number 5. Same thing. So go ahead and take some time to do this. And if you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it and work on it. Okay, so let's come back together and let's check your answers. So the first box I have is 1/4. So I should have is 4 boxes, right? Divided. And of the 4, only 1 is shaded. And then the second box, I should have 7 parts that are divided, and of the 7, 2 is shaded. So the total number of boxes together should give us then is 28, right? So of the 28, the first box should have 7 pieces that are shaded, and the second box should have 8 pieces that are shaded. So together, the 7 plus 8 should give us then 15 out of 28. Did you get the right answer? Good. Okay, let's try number 6 now. So same thing, go ahead and pause this video and go ahead and just try it and then come back when you finish with your answer. Okay, let's check your answers. So in the first box, I have 10 parts that are divided, and of the 10 parts, 4 is shaded. And in the second box, I should have is 7 parts, and of the 7 parts, 2 is shaded, right? So we should have something like this. Okay, so far it should be good. And then together, the number of total boxes, or the common denominator, should come out to be 70. Did you get that? Okay, so now the first box. So the first box, if I had 10 and then turn into 70, the new number that is shaded should give us 28, right? 28 shaded. And then the second piece, when we had 7 and it grew into 70 pieces, then the top part, or the numerator, or the number shaded, should change to 20. So if we have 28 minus 20, right, then you should have only 8 that is left. So 8 out of 70 is your correct answer. Okay, did you get that? Good. So now go ahead and try that again if you need to rewind this video, or go ahead and practice some more.